Just trying to get the last few loads emptied out of one of our tanks. We've got a slurry ban coming in on Monday the 15th of October, which it applies to all of Ireland and I think definitely to Northern Ireland, and I would imagine to the UK as well. It hasn't been easy to get our slurry out over the last while with this bad weather we've been having. And as you can see, it is spilling rain again today. It's rained most of today. So after getting our ploughing finished yesterday, it's rained all day today, which isn't going to do our chances of getting any of the sowing done tomorrow, Saturday. So it just seems to be continuing on as this battle with the weather, which really has been going on since June this year, and it hasn't let up since. This is one of the fields that we made the round bales in last week. We're just putting a good coat of slurry on it. And what we'll do is we'll maybe try and get some sheep into it later on, get it grazed down. I think a lot of people thought there was going to be an extension to the slurry ban, but it never materialised. The slurry ban was kind of taken in to try and control the amount of slurry, or phosphorus, it would be mostly, entering our rivers. So what they done was they took a ban out from middle of October until the middle of January, which they deemed to be the wettest months of the year. And by taking out the ban, they presume they'd be able to better control the amount of phosphorus entering the rivers and streams and lakes around the country. And in theory it works fine until you end up with a really wet year. You end up then, you have a situation like we have now where farmers all over the country are spreading slurry as much as they can, get out on fields and mucking up fields, and then what it does is it spills rain on it then that night or the following day or within a few days of it being spread, and ends up in the rivers anyway. The ban should be, in my eyes, should be like a moving target. They should have it that in this kind of weather now there should be some kind of a slurry ban, and then at the end of November or in December, well, if the weather picks up and you have a couple of dry weeks, which it can happen in a lot of cases, the ban could open up and you could get some of your slurry spread when you'd have maybe frosty conditions and ideal conditions for spreading slurry. It could open up, allow you to get your slurry spread, and then when the weather would start to turn wet again, enforce the ban again. But that would make too much sense probably. Anyway, yes, we'll get one more load out here on this field. This field is quite heavy, like I'm marking it as I go along, but there's not much I can do. I have to get the slurry out. It's not doing much harm. There's fairly wide wheels on the tractor and wide wheels on the tanker, so we're just keeping it to a minimum damage wise. Yeah, it's raining quite heavy, so I presume now that'll, unless we have a cracking day tomorrow, it'll definitely put an end to our sowing hopes. And reports coming through in the news today is we have a hurricane coming on Monday, so the weather outlook isn't great. It's just 6:15 in the evening, and it feels like it's 8 o'clock. It feels like it's starting to get dark. We spent most of the morning this morning washing the tractors, and we washed the ploughs, and the overrun, we got it back into its place in the machinery shed. We're finished with it now until the springtime. So there was a lot of muck, and especially from the land we ploughed yesterday, because it was quite heavy, and there was puddles of water lying in places, so it seemed to splash everywhere. So that took up the first half of the day, and slurrying then this last couple of hours. Just finishing the final load tonight. I'm not going to have all the slurry out of the tank this evening. I'll have to finish a few loads in the morning, but this field at least will be finished. Got very dark very quickly. I was delayed by about 15 minutes in the yard, but even still, it is just a dull, horrible day. It's raining, still raining pretty heavy. The only bonus is that I'm not taking much muck onto the road, which I didn't actually take any muck onto the road, which isn't too bad. It's a small bonus. I'm just getting rid of the last little bit of slurry now, and there we go. We'll head for the exit. That's about us for this evening. I'm just pulling back into the yard now after spreading the last load now. I still have about 3 or 4 loads to put out tomorrow, so I'll have to try and locate a field to get them squeezed into. Yeah, the tank doesn't have to be empty down to the very bottom. It only about less than 3/4 fills during the 3-month period. But yeah, I'll have to still like to get as much of it out as possible. In case any of the other tanks fills up, you'll have somewhere down to throw a few loads if you were stuck. But that's about it. If I'm spreading those loads tomorrow, I'll get the camera out and take a little bit of footage of what I'm up to, and I'll see him maybe take some footage of we've a batch of cows and calves that we've weaned off. The calves are actually the youngest calves, but it's just the way it worked out. They were closest to the house and they started breaking out last week, so we took them in They were starting to run out of grass anyway. They only need a few more days worth of grass, so I'll maybe do a video on those as well and just show you some of our cows and some of our calves. But yeah, that's for tomorrow. Okay, well, thank you very much for watching, and we'll see you tomorrow.